Hello, welcome to Shar's World Life Unfiltered podcast. I'm your host, Shar, here to help you navigate life's twists, turns, and downright weird moments. Because let's face it, adulting is a real trip. We're diving into the bizarre, sometimes hilarious, and often frustrating quirks of adult life. Why does it feel like we're all winging it? I know I am. Why didn't anyone tell us that there's no adulting manual? And why do we suddenly love naps more than nights out? Love that. Trust me, it's going to be a fun ride. So grab your favourite beverage and snack, get comfy, and let's get real about why adulting is so weird. Because it is. So, in this first segment, we are going to be talking about the expectations and realities of adulting, the myth of being the perfect adult, which I'd like to add does not exist. Whoever told us it did, they lied. So, a lot of things can portray what it is to be the perfect adult, and the one thing that is always center stage of anything is social media. And another thing that also sets a reality is childhood expectations. So we're gonna go into that a little bit more. So with childhood expectations, I shouldn't really say childhood expectations, more like childhood reality. Whichever one you want to call it, gives a real preview of what an adult is, and that basically people work hard to get what they want. So being young and see my mum working really hard, going to uni, excuse me, going to uni, doing her nursing, and just seeing all the hard work and effort that she put into. Seeing her doing the food shopping, taking us out, food shopping, clothes shopping, everything. Parents made things look easy and fun. And that's another thing that social media can also do, because you have these influencers and they're like, oh well, this is how I did this, or this is the way to be the perfect adult. This is how you have, an immaculate home. This is how I have a lot of free time. This, that, and the other. And it's just like, but is that real? And when you see stuff like that, it personally for me, I feel like it just adds pressure to then being perfect. So, if you haven't got your own house by the time you're 13, still living with your parents, that's not good. If you're not driving the latest car, that's not good. Or if you haven't been traveling a lot compared to other people, that's not good. When in fact, we all reach different points in our life at a different time. So and so may have had their own home by the time they were, I don't know, 25. But how do we know how we got their own home? That could have just been handed to them. Their parents could have just bought them the house. Like, I feel like a lot of people who are, I don't know how to say it, who are quite braggy and boasty, don't really share how they actually got what they want. They'll share like what I deem as unrealistic advice. Like, oh, just put away. You just put away £500 each month. Who's got £500 to spare each month? We all don't have high paid jobs. Do you know what I mean? So seeing the reality is a lot better because then it makes you think I've got to work hard to get what I want, and it doesn't matter how long it takes, I will still get there, I will still achieve what I want to achieve. And people who, claim that they've done things alone, in my opinion, it's not always true. Such as, like I said, buying a property, owning a business. Some people are given a business. Other people have actually worked hard to have a business, which I can relate to because I'm currently in the stages of trying to expand my own business. I have ideas, I just need to jot it down and make sense of it all. But that's because I want to expand. I want to make sure that I've got everything in sets when my child gets older. She then doesn't necessarily have to stress about anything, basically. People who come of money and wealth definitely give perfect adult vibes, and I don't like it. Fair enough, if you was born into money and wealth, that's your privilege. But if you weren't, then you can't really be talking about how you've been hard done by this, that, and the other. I hate when people do things like that because it basically means you didn't really struggle, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion on what I think about. I mean, you know, people don't have to agree with it because I really don't care. But if you have money and wealth, things are basically handed to you on a silver platter. Doesn't mean, they're not a nice person or anything, don't get me wrong, but their views on different things are going to be very different to someone who has to work really hard. And then obviously we face the realities of being an adult, such as bills, food shopping, trying to prioritize what's important and what isn't important. And you know what I find funny with the bills? It literally starts off so simple with just a phone bill. Then you start doing your driving lessons. You do your theory. You pass your theory. You pass your driving test. Car is now added on to the list of bills. So you got, for starters, you've got buying a car, right? Then you have looking for car insurance, which is expensive if you're a new driver. Look, when I was so excited when I passed my test, six, like 6 years ago. I was like, oh yeah, gonna pass my test, gonna have a nice car. Luckily, I was gifted. I didn't buy my first car, which I was thankful because I know that I wouldn't afford it. I was gifted my first car, which I loved. But then it got wrote off, which I was actually sad about. Went off there. But yeah, car insurance is very, very expensive. When I first started, I think I was paying £170 a month because I was only doing monthlies. And then I had a black box for best part of 2 to 3 years, and that really brought down my pricing, brought down my car insurance down to a lot. And now I currently pay, I think it was like £48 and so much pence. So it's gone down, and it helps that my no claims bonus is protected. Along with having your car insurance, you've got road tax. That actually road tax can be quite cheap depending on the vehicle that you have, but it's still a bill. It's still a bill. And then obviously you then get into the loops of subscriptions, so Netflix, Spotify, Amazon, Disney, YouTube, little apps that have like games that have like apps embedded, or like different types of apps that require like a monthly plan or whatever. That list gets longer and longer and longer and longer, and then you get to the point of where you're like, okay, what what don't I actually need? What actually isn't important that I can just get rid of? And then you find it hard to narrow it down. So you're like, yeah, I'll leave it for now because why not? I'll sort it out soon. Don't worry. Then not only do you have bills to worry about, you got your own shopping list. That in itself can be a minefield because I'm lucky that I live at home, but I still get my own little bit of shopping here and there. But you try to think, you think bulk buying is a good idea, but then you can buy too much and then waste some of the stuff that you've actually bought. Then you need to think, okay, so I'm buying chicken. Do I need to buy anything to cook with the chicken? What am I gonna have with the chicken? What day am I gonna cook the chicken? Like you kind of plan your meals. That's what I do. If I go to like Aldi, you're like my mom, I'll look and I'll be like, okay, I fancy lamb chops. I'll cook the lamb chops on Sunday and we'll have it with mashed potatoes, um, with like some frozen veg or fresh veg, and like Yorkshire pudding. That's that's how I have to do my shopping. And as much as I like to do a list and stick to it, I never stick to a shopping list. I literally just walk in, look, I'm like, okay, I could do with that. Yeah, I could do with that. That seems all right. And people will go Costco and stuff because you get things in larger quantities, but it just wouldn't benefit me in the slight. I don't think it would anyway. Um, and then obviously my mom has her shopping list. Aldi as the Sainsbury's. This is what we're gonna get from here. This is what we're gonna get from here. This is what we're gonna get from here. I'm just like, how do you know what you want? Obviously, we look in the house first to see if there's anything that we actually need. Look, when I start doing a list, I'm just like, do I need this? Oh, I don't know if I want this. I want this, but I want to have something different, so I have to be in the shop to physically know if I want it or not. Which is bizarre. It's annoying, but it is what it is. I'm trying to be the perfect adult and I can't. It's hard to do. Um, but when you're younger, you think being an adult is all fun and games because of the responsibilities you have. And then you're like, oh, these responsibilities are actually very annoying. Like I used to think being an adult was like a really good thing. It's always, oh, I can't wait to be grown up so I can do this. I can't wait to be grown up so I can have my own car. I can't wait to be grown up so I can have my own phone. I can't wait. And then the reality hits. You become a grown up and you're like, I wish I was a kid. It's all I say to my mom. Oh, I wish I was little again. So I don't have to pay for my own holiday. it's just little things like that, and it's actually quite funny because like being an adult is not all that. I highly don't recommend it to anyone out there. Don't do it. Don't be an adult. Stay young while you can. Stay young forever. That's what I want to do. But it's too late for me, not for you guys. You know, being an adult is it's a learning curve, and we will all get there one step, one step at a time. It's gonna be a bit messy, but hey ho, we gotta face every obstacle. And being an adult, boy, is there plenty, but you can then take from what you've learned and pass it on to your children. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pass the stuff that I've learned, pass it on to my daughter. I'm actually thinking of like creating like a little book of important information that you need to know, so that she then doesn't have to be like, oh, what did mom do? How did mom deal with this? This is what I do. Like, I ask my mom, how do you deal with this? And then I try and process that information. So I've got it there as like memory. Because, boy, and I suppose when my daughter gets older, things would change technology wise and stuff like that. So I want her to have like the basic understanding of being an adult, because they don't teach you that in school. And I think they really should. That's what I think. So, you know, it's pretty obvious that the picture perfect adult does not exist. But here's the thing, there's a reason why we all find this stage of life so weird. Spoiler alert, it has everything to do with figuring out who we are while managing a million responsibilities. So let's break it down. Here we go. Segment number 2 is all about the mystery of life skills, taxes, laundry, and cooking. Now, necessarily, we don't really deal with taxes, but obviously, if you've got your own business, you kind of have to work at your own taxes. Thankfully, it's something that I don't really have to do because I'm not a big company, nor am I a big business, so don't need to deal with that for now. But I will be teaching myself how to deal with taxes, best way to keep your purchases documented, etc., etc. And like I said, I generally think we should be taught the basic life skills in school, because who's going to be using trigonometry? Anyone? Didn't think so. In like a maths class, that's when taxes should be brought up. I feel like maybe have a little subject on business, and you know, I feel like just the basic life skills is very important. If I knew how to deal with taxes when it came up when my business gets bigger, I wouldn't be needing to stress. If I knew these little bits of information, if I knew how to budget, if I was taught how to save, that is something I can take into life. Trigonometry, I am never, ever, ever, ever going to use. Never. At all. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just absolutely bizarre to me. And so I feel like the government should really make a change on that. We need to be taught basic life skills in school. Not necessarily primary school, but more so secondary school. Because it's important. It really is important. I mean, we just have to get through life, I suppose. But it'd be nice to be given a heads up. And like, there's so many things I've learned whilst growing up and processing being an adult. And I think trying to navigate all that while trying to figure out who you are is very, very difficult. Um, so you taught firstly how to do laundry, washing your clothes, and they, you know how it's always like, colors together, whites separate, and then you've got your fabric softener and like your conditioner. I'm sure at one point I, I was a little bit unsure of the fabric conditioner and what did I just say? Fabric conditioner and like the 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 liquid, or I can't think of the word. I can't, the things to do, the things you put in the drum to wash your clothes. And sometimes I would put them in the wrong compartment. But the one thing I always seem hard to distinguish, especially if it's like dark colors, light colors, and then obviously like whites, but it's just anything that is white, like a white jacket, da da da. I find it very difficult to distinguish if like a light blue top is okay to go and be washed with the lights, with the coloured. So when it comes to my own washing, because like I put everything in like the wash basket, but sometimes I just want to wash my own clothes because if it's wrong, it's on my clothes. So what I tend to do is just put all my clothes together, darks, whites, lights, and then I just hope for the best. And so far, so good. It's been working. I've not had anything mixed. I don't know how, but the adulting got on my side, and it's working out very, very nicely. And again, some in this day and age, we are very grateful to obviously have technology and social media. So if there's something I was ever unsure of, it's a Google. Like I found the perfect. Even though I'm 27, right? Gonna share a little funny. Even though I'm 27, I could never cook rice. It's my downfall. It is my weakness. I can't do it. Then one day, I was cooking a Chinese dinner from scratch. If you'd like to know, it was sweet and sour chicken and egg fried rice. Made my own sauce. Did the chicken the way that they would do it. Did the egg fried rice. I'd like to say top 10. Now, my mum was finishing work late. My dad was finishing work late. And my sister was out. And I was hungry. And I'm like, wow, I can't wait for these guys to come home. And they're expecting dinner and there's no rice. So instead of messaging and calling, went on my phone, typed into Google how to cook rice. Scrolled down a bit, clicked on a link, looked at it. Then it said, if you're cooking basmati rice, click here. Checked the rice that I was cooking, basmati. So I clicked, scrolled, had a look, followed it. Chef's kiss. Boy, was it perfect. The best rice I have ever done. Because last time I tried to do rice, it failed miserably. And now, my mum uses the exact same recipe on how I make the rice. If you want me to share it with you, let me know and I'll slide it in the comment section. But got it locked in there. And that's something I learned just using Google. And luckily, this information had like a little photo. So I had the instructions written out and then like a photo grid. So I knew what I was doing correctly. And I was like, get in there. Success at this adult life of mine. Like another one. Here's a little fun hack. Most of you guys probably know how to do this. Making a bed sheet, right? So I normally open like the duvet and then like putting like the duvet into like the quilt thing. My boyfriend does this thing where it's inside out. You pinch the two corners and then you whoosh, shake it out, and it's done. Took me a few attempts to do it, but that's my new favorite thing. So if you haven't figured out a quicker way on how to make it like your bed sheet, there you go. You're welcome. And you know what? It's okay to learn things as you go along because we don't all have it figured out. If you hear someone say, "Oh yeah, I've got my life all figured out," no, 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 it's a lie. They haven't got it figured out, and it's okay to learn as you go along. And anything new that you learn, write it down, take a screenshot, make a note of it. That's what I do. So we've all had some oops moments on the road to mastering life skills. But let's talk about another weird part of adulting, how our priorities change in ways we never expected. And trust me, you'll want to stick around for this one. So, as we all know, it's always, well, back in the day, it was YOLO and, whatnot, being all annoying kids, teenagers. But obviously, as you grow and get older, your priorities start to change, it starts to shift. You may have been a happy holiday go giver when you was younger, going to Ibiza, Ayia Napa, Magaluf, where else is part destination. Um, there's one in my head and I can't remember what it's called. It's evident that I've not been on like a holiday party. To now, so you've had that all out of your system, and you're now thinking about insurance policies, savings, retirement plans. Like when you apply for like a job and you get the job and you're with a company for a certain amount of time, and some companies now you automatically enrolled into a pension. And you're like, pension, pension. I've got years left. Pension. It's bizarre. Insurance policies, some life insurance, travel insurance, just any type of insurance, and then you have savings. That's when everything literally starts to change. So if you're going on holiday, you then like Martin Lewis says, you get your travel insurance as soon as you book. If you're going on holiday, get that travel insurance pattern, get locked down ASAP. Savings. It's always hard to save depending on what budget you're working with, and also depending on what you're wanting to save and how much you can actually afford to save. I always say start off small. So if you can afford £5, do £5 a week. If you can afford more, do more, or you can save monthly. If you're saving monthly, you can save like £50 a month, £100 a month. It all literally just adds up. And then before you know it, you've got a bag of savings. And this is how I knew I was getting into my adulting era because I love coupons. Absolutely, like when you go to like Tesco, not yeah, you go to like Sainsbury's, you scan the little nectar card, boop, and then you get the little coupons. I'm like, yeah, but then that also entices me to buy and shop more. I'm like, oh god, it's the same with Tesco Club Card. Luckily, most of their stuff is all like on the app. I got like the odd few postal ones, but I find that also exciting because I'll go into my coupons. I'm like, okay, did I buy anything that's eligible? If I do, I click add to club card. Boop. If I see that I've got some vouchers like £5, boop boop, let's reduce my bill. It's crazy how everything changes as you sort of like get older. and going out. Oh, I remember being in my prime, 18, going out on late nights, coming back at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, going straight into work. Then it got to the point where I slowly couldn't hack the late nights. Then it kind of got to the point of, yeah, I'll come out for like a drink at the pub, but I want to be home by 10. Or I'll stay till 11. And then it just got to the point where I'm like, I don't care if I don't go out anymore. I'd rather be at home in my bed with my child watching Harry Potter, Bob's Burgers, Friday night dinner, Waterloo Road, whatever I fancy, with a hot drink in the warmth in my PJs. If I don't want to mention PJs, that's where I want to be. And didn't have to spend a single dime, nor do I have to wait for my Uber to try and find me, or the awkward silence in Uber, or trying to find a place that's open so I can have a doner kebab and chips. So, none of that. I don't have anyone barging past me. It's just peaceful. Absolutely peaceful. And like, I don't know, like my younger self would just probably be looking at me and be thinking, is this what I turned into? As soon as I reached like 22, 23, this is what I became. And then I had a baby. Am I really becoming an adult right now? Like, I don't think 30 is an old number. I generally think like if you're 50 or 60, then you're kind of old. Um, but knowing that I'm only 27, I feel like I'm getting there. And you know what? Younger me would be proud because I'm doing things that I wouldn't think that I'd be doing, like this podcast. Didn't think I'd be doing it. And then I had a last little talk with my dad. He's like, you should just do it. Something you'd be good at. And here I am, talking to you lovely people. And so, I think it's just important to embrace your priorities. You notice that you're becoming more grown. It's a sign to show that you're growing, you're evolving, and you got this. That's what it is. So, with anything that has its fair shares of surprises, so does adulting. Some may be hilarious, some might be cringeworthy, and some that actually make you proud to see how far you've come. But you know what's truly the weirdest part of adulting? How we all secretly love and hate it at the same time. Let's get into it. So, there is a lot of love that we have when it comes to being an adult, and then we have a lot of hate that comes with being an adult. So, like, for example, driving. I feel like it's an unexpected joy of being an adult because you're not relying on like family or friends. You're not relying on a taxi. You're not relying on an Uber. You're not relying on a bus. You're not relying on anything but yourself, and that's growth. You I enjoy my own personal growth and just working on myself and seeing how far I've actually come along from when I started being an adult. You class as an adult from what, 18? So when you like become an adult, slowly start to evolve, and then you see how much things have changed and how your priorities change based on different life events, such as having a baby. Just everything just changes, and you have to learn to laugh at your own mistakes. And every small accomplishment, every small win, you need to celebrate it. Like, I am a sucker for not remembering to cancel a subscription before the free trial ends, because in my head I've already done it, and then I see that bill, I see the little notification, I'm just like, oh, I did not do that, obviously. Um, but like every small win, like, I celebrated making rice. I have celebrated being able to cook dinners because I couldn't cook. I, I wasn't the best cook, and now I give myself the label of top chef in the house. I even invent myself my own apron, top chef, because that's what I am, top chef. Um, just enjoy the chaos is all I have to say. But I would love for you guys to share either your funniest or weirdest adulting moments that you've had. May that be a DM to me or a comment. I'd love to know. I'd love to just basically hear your stories. That's all I want to hear is just your stories, your version of what's like being an adult. Because adulting may be weird, but it's your weird. You can make it unique, and that's what makes it special. So that is a wrap on this episode of Shar's World Life Unfiltered podcast. I hope you had as much fun as I did diving into the quirks of adulting. Remember, no one has all the answers, and the best thing we can do is find the humor, joy, and growth in all of the weirdness. If you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to follow, leave a review, and share it with someone who could use a laugh about adult life. Hit me up on Instagram, which is linked in my bio, and share your favorite adulting moments with me. I'd love to hear them. Until next time, keep it real, keep it fun, and keep embracing the chaos. See you in the next episode.